Alright, so in this video, we are gonna be looking at how to process the raw files that comes out of the 1DX Mark III. As of February 25th, 2020, there is not an NLE out there that supports these files natively. If I'm wrong, please save me because what I'm about to show you is very painful. Alright, so to process raw files out of the camera, you are going to need the Canon Digital Photo Professional 4. It's a lot. Now that's free. You just gotta download it in the Canon website. You have to use the serial on the camera for you to be able to download it. Okay, so what we have here is a raw file that I shot with the camera. You're gonna see the stats of the settings. The aperture is 0.0 because I did use a manual lens when shooting this test. It's 1/58 of a shutter and ISO 400, which is the recommended ISO when shooting C-Log with this camera. So all you have to do, since we only have one file here, we're gonna go ahead and double click that and it's gonna bring up a little viewer right here. I'm gonna go ahead and go straight to the point. So go to Tools, and we can go to Start Raw Movie Tool or Alt-Shift-R. Click on that. Since this is a movie, this is what we're gonna do. Now this software is pretty computer hungry. I have a Ryzen Threadripper 2-year-old CPU, 16 cores, 32 threads, and I have problems. And I do have SSD drives, so yeah, this thing takes a lot of power. But it's a 5.5K raw file, so you can only imagine why. So as you can see here, we are in this little GUI or UI. It's a pretty straightforward software. This is actually my very first time using this software. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go over the important parts. So at the bottom left right here, you're gonna see a LUT or LUT. As you can see here, I shot it in log, so it's flat, but if you want to see the contrast there, you can click that and the contrast should pop up. So go ahead and click that out and you're going to see the flat profile once again, right there. That took a while again. And then we're going to go ahead on the right of that. So on the right of the image, you're going to see some settings, okay? You can choose white balance, choose the white balance there. You can fine tune the magenta and green and all that good stuff, and you're gonna notice that some of that stuff is actually grayed out, and that's because we are in the C-Log mode, okay, right now, since I shot this in C-Log or Canon Log. So let's go ahead and go through it real quick. Go here, you can do some noise reduction if you want, but everything else is grayed out. Click on this one, same exact thing. Click on this one, same exact thing. Finally, you know you shot in log because this button is also enabled. In this window, you can choose between the EOS, original, or neutral. I actually like to work in original because honestly, I don't even see the difference in this software. You can change this in camera as well if you would like. You can increase the sharpness here, change the hue, saturation, and then you can see the work color space is always going to be 709, Rec 709. Now, the previous windows can be unlocked if you untick Canon Log, and you are automatically gonna see the image switching to Rec 709. That means that whatever you do now will render out a non-log image. You see at the bottom left, that's gone. You can't click that anymore because the image is now baked in. Now, some people out there don't like using log. They want to shoot log just to retain the information, but they want to go ahead and work Rec 709 straight out of the software, which is fine, and that's why I'm showing you this. So if we uncheck that box, you are now going to see everything coming online. Now you can fine tune these again. You can change the picture style to standard if you want, which I usually don't do standard. I do neutral, so you can change that there, and it's frozen. It's trying really hard. See that? It changed. Now you can export this with some colors baked in. you can change some contrast, shadow, highlight, color tone, and color saturation. So if we're gonna do this, let's just for fun, for shiz and giggle, let's do a neutral, because I do love that. And let's just go ahead and see if we can get some of those highlights back, which, to be honest, it did a pretty darn good job getting those highlights. So let's go ahead and go to highlight and see what that just does. And as you can see, man, that takes forever. It's not very fast there at all. So God, that is horrible. Somebody support these files already in an NLE. Now you can turn sharpness on and off and increase the sharpness, strength. Let's see what that does. And yeah, I can see that it's gotten sharp. So let's go ahead and untick that for now. But I'm just going through this really, and this really reminds me of like Adobe's Photoshop Lightroom adjustments. So if you've used that before, you should be fine with these windows here. Noise reduction was on already. You can also turn on the sharpness in the sub window, which is pretty much the same thing. And then we'll go to the adjustment tone curves, which is your curves, if you want to mess around with that. So look at that. That is not real time. That sucks, right? So let's go ahead and revert that shot. Yeah, so you can definitely edit everything here. But if you're trying to export log, you won't be able to edit anything. You have to export log and then go to DaVinci Resolve. So if you're done here, what you have to do next, just click Save Movie. The raw movie image has been edited. Saving will apply your changes. OK to continue. And now it's going to bring us to the saving phase or export phase. The files are going to be saved. Here, you can do JPEG, 8-bit TIFF, or 16-bit TIFF. I do 16-bit. I leave everything as default. It goes to 350 DPI, which is pretty good. You can increase that if you want, but I honestly just left it by default. I leave everything by default, and I browse where I want to put this file, and then execute, and that's going to export the Rec 709. Everything that you changed will show on the TIFF, and all you have to do is import that in DaVinci Resolve. So let's go ahead and do, I'm not going to do the baked in one because I want to show you guys the log one, because you can already see this. That's already what you're going to get when you export. So let's go ahead and cancel. We're going to try and revert to the last one. So close this for now. No, I don't want to do that. Let's go to edit. It's in one of these things. Copy, reading. I don't think it actually changed it. So adjustments, there it is. Revert to last, revert to shot settings, and that should bring us back to square one. So let's go ahead and go to tools, go back to the raw tool. Let's go ahead and go back to the raw tool that we were just in earlier, and there you go, you're back in C-Log, which really what we want for now. So go over here. I'm not going to touch any of that. I'm going to turn that LUT off. Save movie. I'm going to find out. I'm just going to leave it there. 16-bit, 350 DPI. This pixel, 5.5K. Execute. And that's going to do its thing. So now that it's doing this thing, there's actually not a batch way to do this. As far as I know, of course. You will literally have to do this for every single clip you have. And man, that is absolutely tedious. But I'm pretty sure one day DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Premiere Pro will have the support for this camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pause the recording for now and come back so that you guys are not waiting forever. Alright, so we are back now that it's done exporting. That took quite a while. So let's go ahead and go to Resolve. And if you look at my folder test, you're going to see that there's a folder inside that now, which will have your tip files. Now the cool thing about this is if you right click, actually let's go ahead and bring them in. There's an audio file there as well. If you right click, clip attributes, it's already going to set the correct frame rate, but always just double check before you put it in your timeline. So here we go. Let's go to the edit and drag and drop the TIFF. and then drag and drop the WAV file, and then link them together. So as you can see here, you'll see the log footage, which looks really good. Since we're not editing, we're gonna go ahead and go to the color tab so you can see that better. And as you can see, it's pretty flat. It retains some pretty decent dynamic range there, and the color profile is actually really good. The color science is actually really good. Now from here, like I said, this is not gonna be a DaVinci Resolve tutorial. I just wanted to show you guys the actual workflow from the camera, the footage from the camera to the software from Canon and into your NLE. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And like always, thank you all for watching. This year is my final go with this whole YouTube influencer thing. So if you guys found this video helpful, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel so we can keep doing this thing.